Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of How to Scale an Agency. I'm on with Udit Ghosh of TickTigers. He has a company that helps agencies and other types of businesses get verified on YouTube. And he's got a really interesting way of making it happen. So I wanted to bring him on the show. He's also built up a pretty substantial following on Twitter. And so I wanted to have him come on and talk about how to build an audience and how you guys can too with your agency. So thank you so much, Udit, for being on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Lucas. Thanks a lot for inviting me to your show. Big fan of your show. Like I've watched a lot of episodes and it's an honor to come to your show. Yeah.
So glad you like it, man. Well, let's start from the basics. When did you start your agency? When did you get that going?
I started my agency a year back, but prior to that, I had like 10 years of corporate experience. I had, worked in senior sales roles in a lot of different organizations. So I had a pretty good idea on, how real world business works. So I was like, not like a lot of these youngsters like in their, 18s and 20s who made $1 million in a single month and having Lamborghinis in Miami. So I had like a good background on how professional life works and everything. And it's just 1 year I started my agency, and by God's grace, it's going very good.
Fine, very well. So are you open to sharing the pricing on how to do this? Because I know the pricing. You told me what it was. How much does it cost again to get somebody verified on YouTube?
Let me tell you about like how PR and verification works before coming to the pricing. Okay. And what exactly PR is.
Yep.
Now, the basic problem is that PR is the game of the rich and powerful.
Yeah.
Anytime you see a blue tick either in Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or any other social media platform, you know that, hey, this is top level guy. This is not an ordinary person, because I can say like blue tick is the original NFT.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, if a blue tick guy DMs you, even if you get like 100 DMs a day, you will hey man, this is somebody, a top level guy, he has DM'd me. Right. But even if in a sea of comments, you can see a comment with a blue tick.
Right.
Now, how do you get this blue tick? So the process is that you apply in Twitter or Facebook, and they try to verify whether you are an important person or whether, you are already an established brand or not.
Right.
So they go to different premium news sites. For example, if in business, you're in business, they go to Forbes, Entrepreneur, or, like general newspapers like New York Times, LA Weekly, or something like that. All the premium press.
Right.
And they see, hey, like Lucas James is a top-notch guy, or he's a guy who deserves that blue tick. So you just can't pay Twitter money and they can give you blue tick. No, it does not work like that.
Right.
And the tricky part is that if you apply for a verification in any social media platform, if it gets rejected once, the second time it is 10x harder for you to get verified. Because now they are doubtful that you are not a true, famous guy. You are trying to scam the process.
Totally get it. Yeah. Totally get it.
Yeah. Now what happens? There are a lot of people who have a lot of money. They're like millionaires and everything, but they don't have a media press. They don't have the press coverage for them. So PR guy, they decide on which press to take. For example, if you want to get to Twitter, there are some essential press and there is some non-essential press. Yeah. If you're a business guy and you get published in Washington Post, this is not a necessary press. But as a business person, you need to get published on Forbes or on Entrepreneur. Right. This is the essential press. And this changes every month.
Yeah.
That whether it's a full feature post, it's a link in an article, and there are a lot of other guidelines also.
Yeah.
So you can say that a PR person is like a doctor who just recommends you the medicine, but you need to go to the medicine store.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this really quick. So I'm looking at your Twitter right now. When we talked, you said that you could get people verified on YouTube, but you can also now get people verified on Twitter and also Instagram and Facebook as well, right?
Any social media, Telegram, Snapchat, WhatsApp. I have WhatsApp verification also, which is something which like Fortune 500 companies only do. They have an official verified WhatsApp business account.
So I think a lot of people actually would be down for the Twitter verification for sure. I know YouTube is big. I know Facebook, Instagram. Are you open to disclosing that price point on the pod? Because I think you probably get a lot of people coming to you if you did. I'm actually interested in that. I wasn't as interested in YouTube just because I do have a YouTube, but my audience is really on Twitter. So for me, it was a big deal if I could get it verified. Are you open to sharing that or what?
Yeah, definitely. prior to disclosing my pricing, I will, clear one query. Like a lot of times I get in the DMs, all those in the chats that, hey, you are selling verification services. Why you aren't verified in Twitter and elsewhere? Okay.
Right.
So the thing is that if I get myself verified on Twitter, I can't sell my PR services because this goes against the community policy and guidelines.
Makes a lot of sense.
So the process is that you should be organically famous. You can't sell being famous services.
Right. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So you need, and then you also have, so for everybody who's following along, if you go to Chain Breaker, I'll share my screen, and then also because people watch this on YouTube as well, but this is his Twitter. It's Chain Breaker, and then he has 2 E's at the breaker. So Chain, BREAKEER. And he has 66,000 followers. He started 2 years ago now, almost to the month. How did you do that? How did you get 66,000 followers so quickly?
That's why I started as an, anon account, sharing this life money advice. And, there are a lot of anon accounts on Twitter. I read self-help books, drink coffee, this, this general self-help motivation kind of stuff. So I also started that kind of account. And to be very honest, it is very easy to try to go that kind of an account rather than a real person. Because you are selling a dream and stuff which you rarely do in life, but which people like. So these are what you call in Twitter languages like platitude tweets. Or vanilla tweets. Basically, you are telling some good stuff to people which people like, but it's not necessary that it's your real self.
Right.
I started as that kind of account and selling, Twitter growth guides and ebook on how to make money in 1 month and, these kind of stuff.
Right. So if you're growing, I mean, just to be clear, I mean, if you're growing, if you had 66,000, it's been 24 months. I mean, you're basically growing at like 2.8 thousand followers a month. What was the biggest thing that allowed you to grow? Like, was there a singular growth guide you gave away? Did you give away a guide? Did you give away like a template? Did you have someone shout you out? Like, how did you get, was there like a single day where your follower count just blew up, or was there like, has it just been growing really quickly every single month?
No, so there have been ups and downs, to be very honest. Yeah. It's not like, so there have been months where I've got like 7,000-8,000 per month. And there have been continuous months where hardly like 500 to 1,000 followers have grown. It was never uniform. So when I was an Anon account, it was very easy for me to grow. When from Anon I changed, revealed my face and revealed like who I am, the growth stopped down. The growth slowed down.
Makes sense. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. So that's actually a really interesting growth hack though. So you started as an anonymous account, and that what did that? You said it was just inspirational, motivational posts and stuff.
So that's why the Chain Breaker came. So my previous profile pic was a guy wearing a suit, and he was trying to break the chains of corporate slavery and something like that.
Nice.
I know it sounds funny. It sounds funny, but I started just like that. Because at that time I was also in a corporate job, and I also wanted to quit my job, so it resembled well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, but you must have had. Did you just have this idea, or did you know someone who did this too? Like, how did you figure out that this was the strategy to getting all these followers? Did you know something that other people don't know? Like, how'd you get the insight that was necessary to grow so quickly? Like, where'd you learn that from?
So I tried a lot of things. Most of the things didn't click. Some clicked. So if you want to like grow quickly, I can give you some strategies. Like,
do it.
Yeah. So post motivational tweets. I know like it goes well with the brand of Twitter. Single line tweets always work well. Okay. Like I drank coffee and did like 100 push-ups and this kind of things.
But some motivational tweets.
Motivational single line tweets. The more shorter your tweets, the more engagement it gets. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then shout outs, obviously. So you tag, 5 or 10 top accounts and you shout out, and then every one of them retweets at the same time. That's how you game the Twitter algorithm.
That's really smart. Okay, so that's really interesting. So when you're shouting them out, it has to be like genuine, right? Like you actually are engaging with these people, right? Or do you just pick 5 random ones?
No, we generally engage, and normally you do like 1 shout out per week or 1 shout out every 15 days. And the key part is that all of these people should, retweet in the first 5 minutes. Otherwise, it will not work.
Okay, that makes sense. So you basically build like this network, and then when people drop, it's like when people drop a really good post, then you just tag them and say, this post was incredible. or something, and then they'll probably share it because it makes them look good if you share it.
Or you can do like, top 10 people to follow to change your life, and you have 10 accounts. Okay, like this is for health, this is for money, this is for online income, or this for that, whatever it is. Okay.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so if I had to summarize it, you posted popular content, you shouted out and engaged with top accounts and then that caused them to share your content because they were included, made them look good. And then you also kept it short so that way it was able to be picked up more often and shared because it was very short. How often would you recommend writing a thread, would you say?
So see, there are two kinds of threads. One is sharing your personal experience, like what you do and what not you do. That gives less number of followers, but whatever the followers are there, they are more genuine in nature.
Right.
More connect with your brand. And one is the same motivation and same, top 7 trips, things to avoid to have a debt-free life, or, top 7, whatever, top 5 things to do to have an amazing morning or whatever.
Yeah.
These tweets get a lot of engagement, but the followers are not so genuine. So you need a mix of quality and quantity both.
Very interesting. So
honest, now I can, grow. I mean, if I have tried, but my old strategies, I could have easily surpassed 150K or 200K followers if I only wanted vanilla and motivation tweets. But since I'm now trying to build my own brand, I care less about engagement and more about genuine followers.
I mean, it's still really smart because now you have 66,000 people and you can everyone trusts you because you have all those people. Did you run any ads at all on your content? Did you ever boost your posts or no?
No ads.
All organic.
No,
all organic. Very interesting. And I guess my last question for you on the Twitter stuff is, do you have a network of people who is kind of like an engagement group? I know that's pretty popular right now. I have one that's like not artificial. Like it's just, if people like my content, I'll share it with them and then they'll share it. And it's kind of like a syndication network. Did you build something like that too with accounts and you're like, hey, we should just all collaborate on content, build content together and share content and stuff? Or what did you do?
Yeah, I had an engagement network till I think 40K followers. But after that, I'm not part of any engagement group.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm not part of any engagement.
Is there a reason for that? Like, do you think it's not good for your account, or is it just because?
The problem with money Twitter is that 80 to 90% of the accounts are anonymous and giving life advice and these kind of things.
Yeah.
So they don't have any skin in the game. So whatever I'm posting is real stuff, and whatever they are posting is again the same vanilla and the motivational stuff.
Right.
So my content now doesn't resonate with their content. Still, I was an unknown account. It resonated. Now I'm building my own personal brand, so it doesn't resonate with my content.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay, so the key there is basically if you're going to have an engagement group, make sure that it's actually people who are into the same stuff as you and they're sharing to the same audience and stuff. Okay.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. So one last kind of thing I want to touch on before giving you a chance to, let people know how they can work with you is, I see that you have a really cool offer on your Twitter, and I'll share my screen again for anyone watching on YouTube, and then on Spotify, I'll read it to you. But it says verifying YouTube channels within 24 hours or 100% money back guarantee. Can verify even if you have 0 subscribers on your channel. How is that going for you? I'm just curious, like having the money back guarantee, have you noticed that it led to more sales because people felt more confident in purchasing from you? Like, how did that go down when you offered that? Did that help your agency a lot, doing a money back guarantee?
Yeah, definitely. Because see, to be honest.
Can you talk a little more closer? I think it's, yeah.
So if you just Google right now, you see, if you need a verification on Twitter, Google will say you need 100K subscribers.
Okay.
Just right now Google it. Okay, they will say you need 100K subscribers.
So YouTube verification. Got it. So if I go, let me share my screen so people can follow along. So basically I'm looking at YouTube verification. How do I get verified on YouTube? Yeah, you must reach 100,000.
Yeah, you must have 100K subscribers. Yeah.
Very interesting. So you're able to bypass this. This is really curious.
Yeah. Now I'll come to the question, how am I bypassing it?
Yeah.
So a lot of the YouTubers or clients, whom I've approached with, and now who are like, very good friends with me, they think that I use a black hat technique. There is some scamming or some black hat technique I'm using. They think that. But this is not black hat. Your verification is done by a member from the YouTube team.
Yep.
Now, how you do it? For example, let's say Sylvester Stallone opens a YouTube channel tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Let's assume. He has only one video.
Right.
But his channel will be verified from day one.
Right.
Even if he doesn't have 100K subscribers.
Right.
Because he is already famous outside.
Right. Right. Makes a lot of sense.
That's the same PR trick we are using here.
Makes a lot of sense, man. I mean, it's a really smart idea, and I think you definitely have a real talent for finding, really cool opportunities to sell products online, and you built a really unique following and a large following. And so I'm really happy to have had you on the show. And is there any way that somebody can work with you? What's the best way to reach out if they want to partner or they want to take you up on your offer?
Yeah, Twitter. I mean, just DM me on Twitter. I'm like always active there.
Got it. So just to be clear, everybody, it is Chain Breaker, and then there's 2 E's at the end where Breaker is, Chain Breaker. Go message him and see if there's any way you guys can collaborate. I think at the very least, if this isn't something you want, you probably could sell it to your clients. You can probably sell it to your agency clients. I'm sure there's a lot of people who want it as well. Maybe you have like a partner program or something like that.
Definitely. Yeah. And one thing I want to tell you, Lucas, like people still haven't understood, the importance of PR. Like it is the game of the rich and famous. Like what I say, because PR gives you credibility.
Yeah.
A lot of people spend money on PR because it gives them credibility.
Right.
You may be knowing a lot of guys who are very rich, but they are not famous. But you couldn't show me one single person who is famous and not rich. Fame equals money. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I totally get it, man. Well, it's been great having you on the show. And I know there's a lot of people out there who probably need this verification. It's really interesting. You've been able to make it happen. So thank you so much for being on the show. And for anybody who's listening, Udit has been able to grow his own Twitter brand to over 67,000 followers, almost 66,000 followers on Twitter, and done it very quickly in less than 24 months. He's done it through the strategies we talked about in this video and in this podcast episode. And if you want to follow the same things, give it a listen, share it with a friend, anyone that you think would find it valuable. Let's see if you guys can collaborate with Udit. Thank you so much, man, for being on the show. I appreciate it.